as you know from the Glow Token announcement, we're graced with 3 hosts. So they went triple threat on the GlowNation, and so here goes this poem. Okay. 3 new hosts with 3 new faces, and I've got a perfect face for Twitter Spaces. I'm thrilled to be here and hosting GlowNation. We're about to turn the show into a Twitter sensation. Glow stands for unity and also charity, but most of all, we stand tall for strong security. So jump on board, we all will float. A rising tide will lift all boats. Yes, hop aboard, give Glow a chance to decentralize all your finance. Now listen here, because I'm not joking. Glow lives to team with other tokens. We will agree, we won't defy, because DeFi, we will unify. Thank you guys very much. Pass the mic.
Well said.
Thank you guys.
Very nice, very nice. So the whole point of tonight is so that everybody can get to know all the hosts that are now coming onto the space, and also we're going to talk a little bit later about what it actually means to be a part of the BBTF Reflections and what it means for each holder. So, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the host actually lead the space, unless you have something.
No, let them on, lead the space, and we'll move on to the BBTF Reflections in a minute. Maybe they might give a little bit of background of like what got them into DeFi, how they ended up in this crazy space. I think everyone has a different story of how they got here.
Yeah, how about you, Rob?
Oh, I started like a lot of people. I really have started kind of paying attention, and then a friend of just before April of 2020, and then a friend of mine thought he was playing an April Fool's joke on me, just goofing around. He introduced me to Doge. So I bought a little Doge and I flipped it real quick, and I'd already bought a little Bitcoin. I was learning it, and I flipped that real quick. Made a little money on Doge. Thought, oh, this is easy. But then I found my way into Ethereum, into the BSC chain. I didn't like the fees on Ethereum. Somebody mentioned Safemoon, and I've been a D-chin on the BSC ever since. I love the DeFi space. I love blockchain. So I just kind of fell into this, and I really believed in Safemoon. And then they started adding these great partners, Glow being one of my favorites, and I just fell in love with the space, the technology, and the possibilities that it offers for the future. That's more or less where I'm at now. It's just looking to increase and unite and get this out there so people can all benefit from it.
Word. I hear you. It is all about uniting people, and that's how I briefly mentioned in my intro. Like, I ended up at that Expo Verse because of Darcy Donovan, who's like the grand unifier, and so I'm doing my best to learn that's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it can work, and a rising tide lifts all boats. If we all help each other out, then we all win. And thankfully, there is room for everybody in the boat, because this is just something that's burgeoning right now and just growing at a logarithmic rate. So there's room for all of us.
100%. I mean, if people think they're late, you're not late. You're in that first, what are we at? 6% of the world population are into this. So definitely not late. Don't think you are, because if you're in these spaces now, you are way ahead of the curve, and now is the time to be learning it and get ahead of the game.
Well, I have to, all the other tokens that I'm learning about seem great. connects me the most to Glow is I like the charity aspect of it, and I like that there's a 1% given to charity, and that the community votes on who the charity goes to. That's amazing, and it's a beautiful thing, and I like that they seem to get, from what I can see of their social, they get involved with the charity and learn about it, on a more personal business level than just giving to the United Way or something. But these are folks that they get to know a little bit, and they know that the money is going where it's supposed to go and doing something really, really good for the world. So I admire that about this project.
Cheers, 100%. Yeah, I love that too. It's amazing that they're giving it to, you give money to United Way, how much of it actually gets to the charity? But they're doing a good job on picking needy causes that can really use it and will use it. So I've been pretty impressed with that too.
Well, the thing I like is I remember hearing about them in El Hennessy's space, the barbershop, and I forget who it was, but somebody brought up a really good point. He goes, well, there's no FUD on Glow. And I sat there in silence, and I'm thinking, so I went on and did my research and looked around, and yeah, there is no FUD on Glow.
Hey, we got to make some FUD.
Yeah, I know, right?
Go ahead, George. I was just going to say, no, yeah. After you, George, you first. I'll...
No worries. I was just going to say, within the spaces that I've held, and I was fortunate to have Brian in one of them, and I don't mean to toot his horn there, Shane, but he's a very knowledgeable guy. To me, this whole thing that happened with BBTF, it kind of looked like Brian flew in there to go save the day, in a way. Just to hear him speak, the man is very knowledgeable when it comes down to blockchain and how things work in behind the scenes. It was just amazing to see these two communities coming together, one helping each other in more ways than one. I thought was just absolutely amazing to be a part of and to see and to witness.
No, for sure. Brian's knowledge with smart contracts and stuff is a different level to mine. Mine's very basic at the moment. I'm improving every day, but at the moment it's still very basic. And Brian's a very humble individual, and anything he jumped in to try help with Don, he wasn't looking for anything back in return. It just turned out that we did get some stuff back in return in the form of the reflections, but he definitely wasn't going in with that intentions anyway.
I noticed that, when that was one of those things that drew me to you too, is Brian, I'm going to throw you under the bus on this one. As soon as all that happened with BBTF, I saw some tweets from other projects that weren't what I would call encouraging, but Brian stepped right up and said, hey, I'm here. You want my help? I can help you. Just get a hold of me. And Dan, he was up there going to help, not just criticize or critique. He stepped right in, and I thought that was pretty awesome when I saw that.
Well, I definitely appreciate all the kind words. I mean, that's the thing is we're all here to unite DeFi. We're all here to build something better. And when someone needs help, it's always the right thing to do to offer the helping hand.
Well, I can honestly say that you were the first one I saw do it after seeing other people not react in that professional of a manner as you did, which really brought me, because I'm a Unite DeFi guy. I don't criticize tokens. I mean, there's some, as they call them, bad actors out there, but I don't judge until you actually prove it to me. So I'm all about, all projects. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the SafeMoon ecosystem, which, of course, you all know by my name, I'm a big SafeMoon ecosystem guy. I think this galaxy's got the potential to be just a unifying thing for people with the safety that's involved. It's going to be a place where people who are worried about security and that they can come into this ecosystem, and I think it's going to have the security to really bring in a lot of people and give them a chance to be comfortable before, you know, because I know how scary it can be. I was at first too.
I see we have Holly up as a speaker. What's up, Holly?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to come up. I don't know why I'm not being I'm so sorry. But hi.
I think I willed it. I saw you down there and I thought, hey, we should get Holly up here to speak.
No, I just want to be a listener. I have no idea what happened. I'm so sorry. But you guys are doing great.
Well, don't be sorry. Just, you know, we'll put you back in the room with the frogs, and then we'll let you hang out.
No. I am stepping down. You guys are doing great.
Alrighty then. Well, that's Holly, everybody. The unwilling Twitter Spaces participant. Holly, that's going to be on the recording, unfortunately.
Great job on the video with Crypto Bros too, by the way. That was pretty darn amazing.
Oh yeah, that was very, very amazing, and I truly appreciate, you know, you giving Glow a shout out and talking about us. That really meant a lot, so I definitely appreciate that. Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, big thanks for that as well. Just at this stage as well, if everyone would like to retweet out the space, try get as many listeners in here as possible, and support our new hosts. Be much appreciated. Everyone, drop a follow on our new hosts, George, Matt, and Robert, so they keep up to date with the latest news and announcements and future GlowNation shows as well.
Brian, I got a question for you. It's the host in me, sorry. How did you come up with the Trinity logo?
So that's actually a pretty easy one. So my daughter's name is Trinity. It's something that I'm very big in is, you know, supporting my daughters. So, you know, that was kind of easy. I've always just liked the I guess the design of the Trinity logo, and it's actually something that is personal to me. So that's just a simple answer for it.
That's awesome. It just has a little bit more meaning to everybody throughout GlowNation now.
Yeah, it's a good looking logo, and you know, I understand you have a merch store with the logo coming to the front soon.
Ooh, when Glow hat?
Ooh, that's definitely a Shane question right there.
when Glow hat?
The merch store will be live very, very soon, and it's probably going to be a little bit bigger than we anticipated, and there might be some partnerships involved with it. So yeah, stand by. There'll be more announcements to come. The lads, the way we're going to run these spaces going forward is we're going to give as much news to the three guys that we can possibly give, and they're going to be revealing most of the news. Going forward, we're going to be using this space as a community engagement in a way to deliver news. Obviously, sometimes news comes faster than us as well. So we'll try to keep everything up to date, and probably do this twice a week or so. And yeah, the lads will be slowly taking it over, and we'll be stepping away from it a bit. No pressure.
Kind of like our training wheels. I'm actually trying to teach my son that. I've been moving his training wheels up so the bike leans a little more. And I told him eventually I'm going to take those off. And he's like, he's going to give up riding that bike and ride another one that has training wheels. So I'm having little difficulties with them.
Oh yeah, we skipped the training wheels for my kids. We used those balance bikes. Do you guys know those?
Yeah, I'm doing that with my kid at the moment.
That's golden. I mean, that works like a charm.
That's like the scooter, right?
Yeah, it's like a bicycle without pedals, and you know. Yeah, they just
Good
kick.
idea.
Yeah, those work better for, I think, from my experience for for learning to ride a bike than training wheels, because yeah, it teaches you the most important thing when you're real small, the balance part, and then the pedaling is just pretty easy after that.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna look into that for sure. That'll help out along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter just uses her bike to like throw at me, so I don't think there's going to be any training soon.
Can you guys, for those that don't know, tell us about the lottery that Glow has? I find this aspect one of my most favorites because I'm a huge fan of, well, any lottery coming from Ontario here and being a fan of, you know, what's the name of the show with Drew Carey? Price is Right. Thank you, Brain. So I'm a huge fan of anything in the way of giving back to the community. So can I get you guys to touch on that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll do a breakdown of all of Glow. So, Glow was built as a token that is built to give back to the community in every aspect of the way. So we have a 15% tax. 10% of it goes back to the holders in BUSD, and that's off buy and sell transactions. There is zero transfer fee. So if anybody's ever wondering, there is zero tax on transfers. I can't stand that tax. A lot of projects have it. You know, definitely good for them if they want to have it. But to me, I like people being able to move their money and not getting penalized for it. Also, we have the two lotteries. We have a $100 daily lottery, which I do the drawing in Discord. We have a bot in Discord that picks the winner, and it sends out $100 every day to a random holder who's holding, at least $20 worth of Glow. And then I have a $10,000 lottery that I do every time that the lottery wallet hits $10,000, which we have the lottery wallet. I believe we have it pinned in the Discord, but it's, something that a lot of people tend to watch. I can actually see if I can find the address and pin it for everybody so they can see how much it's built up to. We've given away $60,000 in the $10,000 lottery since launch back in November. Let's see here. We also do my favorite part of it is the 1% charity, which, is a community voted charity. So that's definitely always interesting, always fun, and it's actually really enjoyable to actually get to know the different charities that we give back to. So we love that part of it. And we're also launching the Glow Foundation, which is going to be able to take the charities to a whole new level. Also, we have a 2% marketing tax. So literally everything that comes in for marketing goes back out to, getting our name out there. And then 1% goes back into the liquidity pool. So that is a brief breakdown of the taxes of Glow.
I heard a real heartfelt story from one of the community members that the $10,000 that he won ended up paying off his college tuition. I thought that was pretty darn amazing that you guys can help out, give back to the community in that way, and to see the positive effects of what the project's doing.
So yeah, it was actually pretty cool. One of our community members, he was actually he won the $10,000. He just graduated high school, was on his way to college, and it was the actual start of him being able to get into college and pay for the startup fees. So that was actually pretty cool that he won. We also had another one that we had one of our community members whose father passed away, and this allowed her to actually travel to her father's funeral because she was going through a hard time at that time, which was a pretty amazing story as well. It's amazing, how it comes into play, all the different stories that we get to hear. We had one guy that donated, I believe, half of his winnings, or actually, I think it was more than half of his winnings to uh, charities of his own choosing. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, a lot of it, the actual community members have to come forward and tell us if they want to get their story out there. So it's definitely pretty interesting when one of those happen, and I can't wait for the next one. I have a feeling it's going to be very soon.
That's the other really cool aspect of Glow in your project is how the community can vote on which charity. Is it every monthly that they can do this, and so other charities can come in?
Yeah, so we have a community suggestions tab in our Discord that allows community members to go in, place their suggestions. We go through, we bring all the new suggestions into the moderator team. We go through, start vetting them. We vote for five of them, and then whatever five are voted on amongst the team and amongst the moderators, we put them on the charity list, and then all throughout the month, we are reaching out to the different charities on the charity list, inform them that they have the opportunity to win, and try to get all the information that we can throughout the month on the different charities.
It's so cool because it's so participatory, from the Discord suggestions, and then I first learned about it a little more in depth on your Facebook page. So you have all the stories of the past charities and everything. It goes into pretty detailed there on the Facebook page too.
Yeah, so that's one of the goals. If we, I guess, do the donation, we wanted to see if we can at least get a Zoom meeting to actually introduce the charity itself to our community. At that point, we've already talked to the charity quite a bit. We get a breakdown of, how the funds go and what it's going to. So we already got all the information that we need, but we want to be able to allow them to talk about what they do and how they help for the community, so they can actually have that personal experience that we get to enjoy, when we get to know these different charities.
That's just awesome, just to see the community engagement that you have with the community, and it seems to be an ongoing wonderful trend to see within the Twitter Spaces. Like I said, the both of you being present at those times were just amazing to see, and the engagement that you have with the community is absolutely amazing.
Hey, what was this? I'd like to hear more about what happened, because I don't think I was at that Twitter space.
Oh, the one in question, yes. I could repost that one. Yeah, it was a Twitter space that I was holding. It was to host all of the Twitter hosts of all of Twitter, basically in the Safe Moon ecosystem in one place. So it was an ambitious idea. I don't know if I've been getting DMs to try to redo it, and I'm getting other ideas. Maybe have other Twitter hosts up on another personal space or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, it was very chaotic that night, and we were so fortunate to have Brian in the space. Dawn was supposed to show up, and this was the night when the first, I guess, attack happened, and to have Brian's knowledge in there was just amazing. And just talking everybody through what was going on, making sense of everything, was just amazing. And when I first heard him say his threshold's too high, I'm like, oh, something bad's gonna happen. And then again, I heard him say it again. I'm like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen again. And like I said, Brian was there to talk everybody through the space, basically what was going on in great detail. So I found that pretty darn amazing.
it was definitely interesting, and it was a lot of right place, right time. I'm glad that you know if it was going to happen, that it was or that we had the space going so people could come in and not panic because that's really key.
Yeah, bro, that's amazing timing. It's like having the bat phone or something.
Like I said, he was kind of like a superhero in my eyes to see the community involvement, even these other partnerships. I don't mean to segue, but especially with these partnerships that Glow is happening with. Like I just saw recently, Glow and Crift. Can I get you to talk on that a bit, Brian?
Give me a couple minutes. My daughter's throwing the fit. So Shane, can you jump on here for a second?
Yeah, I jump on. Yeah, so we have Crift Creator, the CEO of Crift Cars, is actually hiding down there in the audience. We actually have quite a few projects down in the audience. I see we have Morgan from BBTF as well. Can't see anyone else offhand, but there's a few lurking down there. So I see Crift Creator is up there. So Chris Grader, maybe you want to shout and give a spiel about the partnership, and we'll talk about the myself and Chris have talked a good bit in the background. So when we do deals, we try to think long term, but we have a sort of short, medium, and long term plan that we actually need to speak about a little bit more. But do you want to introduce yourself there?
Absolutely. First off, congrats to Eli. It's great to see that you're a co-host. It's cool. You kind of got promoted. But so the 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 partnership that we have. What we're gonna do is give you know I guess Glow the ability to give out. Well, it's still under development for the most part, but the idea is that we're going to be able to allow Glow to give out those receipts that when you make a donation, you get back. And so when you redeem a card, right, you're going to get an NFT, and when you get that NFT, it's likely that it'll be, if it's a promo with Glow, you're going to get an NFT receipt back that says that you made such a donation to wherever we have set up. And so, yeah, we plan on having a promo with them where, one, you either can redeem a code and kind of put something towards a donation or, something along those lines. So, yeah, we're just very excited to be bringing, donations and charity and all that to the Crift platform, but then also give back to Glow through our service as well. It'll kind of bring more eyes into donating on the blockchain and various assets, and it's a cool opportunity to grow and really make everything we're doing for each other a better experience for the end user. And so it's still under development. And yeah, we do have to talk about it a little more, but it's going to be good.
Thanks for that, Chris Creator. Yeah, but the guys over at Crift, they're really, really good bunch of guys, really intelligent minds over there. What you'll notice about Glow is any partnership we do is very strategic, as well as Crift. They sort of think along those lines as well. We don't just partner people with tokens for the sake of partnering with them. Everything we do has a reason behind it. As Brian and myself have always said in sort of previous spaces, we are marching forward doing what we want to do. We don't try to sort of be in direct competition with any other projects. If they have technology that we really like, we'll partner with them and we'll use their technology. There's no point in us trying to build something from the ground up when it's already done. So that's sort of how we work. And yeah, if anyone is sitting down there in an audience with a project they're working on and they feel like something could be done with Glow, my DMs are always open. A lot of good partnerships have come from spaces like this, and that's the the main reason for getting GlowNation back up and running again, and I'm sure the three guys are going to do a great job at it.
I shall do my best, sir.
Yes, thank you for those kind words. Speaking of partnerships, do we, and I don't know if you can speak to this, but are we expecting more partnerships anytime in the future, or do we have, like you mentioned, merch partnership? Is there anything you can talk about who those partners might be with the merchandise?
Yep, so I met with Brendan, who is the CEO of Crypto FC. He's another Irish guy. I met with him last Sunday, I'd like to say. All the days sort of run into one sometimes. Yeah, it was last Sunday morning. So we're exploring some potential opportunities with them. It looks like we probably will do something with them. Their quality is really, really good. So, like, I come from an e-commerce and business background and stuff like that, and the hardest thing to develop in that is decent supply chains, and especially with clothing. It's very, very difficult to develop decent supply chains, and Brendan's pretty nailed that down. So we will probably be exploring a partnership with him and seeing what that looks like, and he'll be helping us out with the merch store a little bit as well. The good thing about Brendan is he actually used to work for Shopify as well, so he knows the platform well.
I noticed Web3 has some very nice T-shirts. It seems like all the booths that I've been to at all the trade shows, the T-shirts were really high quality shirts. Like, I got one of them from another project. Man, it's gorgeous, and so these guys know their stuff when it comes to supply chains and getting the best stuff. So I'm sure it's going to be some nice items. I have an idea for an item too.
Yeah, and obviously Blinky, Blinky.com LLC, who our host Matt is from, and we will obviously be exploring some partnerships with Matt as well. Be rude not to. And yeah, well, obviously that's another partnership as well. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more partnerships to come down the line. Myself, Brian, the team, we're constantly talking to people, and I'd say nearly every day of the week, exploring ideas and stuff with people. We never say no to a meeting. Sometimes it might be something that the project's too new, or it doesn't align with our goals. But if anyone out there has an idea or anything, always bring it to the table. If it's something we can work on, we will. We're a team that just gets stuff done, and we're quite good at exploring what we can do with people and how it can benefit both parties. Whether it be something as simple as bringing you on to have a little chat on the likes of this show and introducing yourselves to our community, or a full-blown partnership, we can have a discussion of what that'll look like.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw Crypto Jedi Master under the bus here. He's got a project that's retail meets crypto. So just saying, maybe he might want to shoot you a DM. I think there might be some room to work there. He's a super nice guy, and it seems like a really good project and a good team. So just throwing that out there for you guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we know him well.
I've been in his DMs, and I actually have to jump on a call with him. So yeah, we know him. We know
how I even met him.
Yeah, we know most people in the space. We're quite good at getting ourselves into talks with people. That's a nice little skill of mine. Brian does the contract stuff. I put people in the corner.
Shane, you certainly, you do have a good way with people.
Yeah, I do all right at it. But yeah, Brian will tell you that. But we do okay. we do some good stuff in the background. There's actually quite a large partnership that we are working on that we're hoping to have some news on towards the end of the week. That's really going to help make Glow more accessible to the masses, and that's where I'm going to leave that there.
That's a lot of mystery there.
Yeah, it's all about accessibility, and Glow has always been about accessibility from day one. We want to make mass adoption possible, and this partnership is going to help Glow be able to achieve that. So we'll probably run another space towards the end of the week with the three guys here, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, if you want to, we can talk about, speaking about partnerships, we can talk about our latest partnership with BBTF. I know Morgan is down there. I don't know if they want to pop up and talk. If not, don't worry about it. They might be busy. They might want to talk about a little bit what BBTF is doing. But anyway, if you guys want to go ahead and talk a little bit about BBTF, obviously Glow is becoming a reflectionary partner with them, and that's sort of the latest news with that.
That was going to be my next question. Coming right for the jugular, the elephant in the room. We've seen a lot of googly eyes getting passed back and forth between Don and you guys. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I want to hear some more about this. What's going on, Brian?
Yeah, so, I got to meet Don in Vegas. He's a super good guy, super genuine guy. And we kind of just got to talking, and we, I guess, hit it off, It was a great experience. Got to meet quite a few people of their team. So, we are now going to be one of their reflectionary tokens, which increases volume, which increases rewards that get paid out to dividends, increases the holder account. We now will be able to have the official Glow token Logan in the Trust wallet, amongst other wallets and different things that we will now be qualified for. So it's actually a pretty big deal. And it's, purely out of the fact that Don is just a great guy. We do plan on working with him pretty close in the future to see what we can do working with the foundation, because he's big into giving back. He's got a good heart. He wants to do, as much as he can to help people. That's the side of that a lot of people haven't got to actually, meet and experience yet. He's extremely kind-hearted guy, and I think this future partnership is actually going to be pretty huge. And if anybody doesn't know what BBTF and what Mirror Protocol and everything that was announced last night is, of course I'd have a helicopter flying over right now. I'm sorry if everybody can hear that. But, yeah, so the new creation that they have done is almost like a masterpiece. I mean, I love what is about to happen for it. So it totally gives that infinite loop aspect to BBTF. So it's going to be, in my eyes, what the hedge funds, what the big money markets are going to be looking at, because it's a way to offer blue chip tokens to their holder, or to a portfolio on top of the different DeFi tokens, and it's literally an endless loop from the way I've read it, and it looks like the. I'm afraid I don't know what all details have been given out, so I don't want to get too in depth to it. But just going off of the conversation last night that Don had in his space, it's actually really, really a great concept. So, people look at BBTF, it rewards. You see the tokens it rewards in. Then you see it go down to the Mirror Protocol, which is going to be the blue chip tokens, which the holders will receive as well for holding BBTF. And then from that, the Mirror Protocol, they're making it to where the actual blue chip token reflecting BBTF off the transactions off of it. So it's literally an endless loop, which does a automatic liquidity injection back into BBTF. So it's a constant loop, constant growth, constant portfolio diversification on top of everything else that they got going on. Is, pure genius. So I give that team a whole lot of credit for the concept that they have built. It's something that I could have never even imagined thinking about.
All right, I'm not sure exactly what you just said, but for the most part, it does sound good. And what I really what excites me is, and I didn't realize it till recently, is that it will reflect the Glow token holders in BUSD just when people buy Blockbuster token, because that's transactional, and so yeah, that's great. That's great. That excites me just as a holder.
Yeah. So what a lot of people I think are missing out on a little bit is how big this is because at the moment there is I've did ran the maths on it there literally a minute ago. There's around 49k of a buy waiting for Glow. So that's the 1% that's waiting for us there at the moment. So it's $49,000 of a buy that'll come through for Glow. The way their contract works, it'll either buy it on the SafeMoon swap or the Pancake swap, whatever is the best price at the time. So this will be a buy in one lump sum, so it'll be a 49k green candle. This 49k green candle will then act as a normal buy for Glow, so you'll get your 15% tax on that 49k buy that would be distributed in BUSD rewards to the existing holders of Glow as well. And then this cycle just keeps repeating, so it's pretty huge. It'll drive up the price. It'll help with reflections. It'll obviously help towards our treasury funds, and it'll help towards the charity as well because of the 15% buy tax that we have. It's still incorporated in it as well. So it's pretty big. It's big for us on a financial standpoint for the token, and it's big on the charity side of things as well. So it's in our interest for BBTF to be as successful as possible as well. And yeah, as Brian was speaking about the Mirror Protocol, what they're doing is really, really smart. I think I have like 70% of it understood, I'd like to say. I could be completely wrong. But Don said yes to me in a space last night about something I sent to him in a DM. And if they are going down that route, they're going to start attracting really big money in, which is quite hard to do in DeFi. Bringing those big money investors in is a hard thing to do, and strengthen a project financially is a difficult thing to do, and it's something that we've really prided ourselves on moving through this difficult market. We've moved through it with zero debt. We actually got all our debts paid off during this market, and we're starting to strengthen financially now and be able to do a little bit more with development and attending events and marketing as well.
But we all know Don's background, especially when it comes to hedge funds, and when those deals come rolling in, I think that's going to change the way we see things.
For the benefit of those that aren't in the we that knows all that, would you tell me a little bit more about Don?
That was just a quick summary of Don's background, I guess you could say. No expert. I have talked to him a few times here and there. I actually just sent him a DM. I guess he's watching the new Game of Thrones episode. But with his experience comes, let's just say Don's playing a chess game. What are those 3D board chess games that are really complicated? It seems to me that what he's building is, like I said, I've been coining it the Bitcoin of DeFi, in my personal opinion. I could see this going that far. And to have the partnerships, like I said, and I've speculated, whoever's followed me for the longest time, I've speculated on a partnership with Glow and Blockbuster since Blockbuster came out. So, and I've had quite a few speculation shows upon it. And look, some of these speculations are no longer speculations. And I find that aspect pretty darn amazing. But to go back to Don, I wish somebody from the team, if they had a few minutes to come up and talk about Don, because they could probably talk about him a lot better than I can.
So Don is the king of asking the really tough questions. He is the guy that has always been extremely knowledgeable and extremely technical when it comes to the way the blockchain operates and the way that contracts function. He is the, I'll put it this way, he is the only one that's ever approached me, and he will put me on the spot in a heartbeat. I love it. Like, honestly, every space I go to, I see Don pop in. I'm like, oh, here it comes. He is the king of the good questions. And it's because he is so knowledgeable himself. So, if there was somebody that was going to be running a good project, a startup project, it needed to be Don. Don is king when it comes to this stuff. He's extremely smart, extremely sociable. Um, he honestly has the personality and background to be extremely successful in this industry. So I am proud of him, and I'm proud to see where he's going to go.
See, Morgan from BBTF is up here in the panel.
I can't hear you guys that well, so give me a second. I'm going to grab my earphones.
No problem. Take your time.
Yeah, like when I first met him, he was such a great community member, and he held that title, Mr. Speculation, for the longest time. And anytime he came into the room and Gandalf was there, Gandalf would be like, "Oh, I gotta go." Don's here. He's here to ask some really technical questions that he couldn't answer. I thought that was priceless.
The thing what I really like that's what's happening in the space. If you look at a lot of the new projects that are coming around, there's a big transition. You have people with like real world credentials moving into running projects and being in COO positions and marketing positions and stuff like that. And that's the step that this really needs to take to get to the next level. So it's great to see that. Morgan, go ahead. I seen you were trying to speak. Sorry for speaking over you.
No, you're good. So I'm not here to answer any technical questions, but I'll gladly talk about Don a little bit. I met Don in a Twitter space back in November. That was my first impression of him, and he had come into the space, I think around the time that Spaceman started, maybe a little bit earlier, and was heavily involved in community discussions and harvesting information, and also probing the community members to ask the right kind of questions and to start brainstorming about what they wanted to see in the DeFi space, because we all know that the DeFi space has grown so much, even this year alone. But talk about 2 years back, it was a mess. So, I mean, he definitely helped elevate the community, in my opinion, and from the sounds of it, was starting to brainstorm about what he wanted to see in a token, and that kind of founded the inspiration for BBTF. And you guys have seen that evolve just in a month alone of being live. So everything has an evolution process. It normally doesn't happen on the first run. But yeah, he's a great guy. If you don't follow him, definitely follow his Twitter. He's not as present in spaces as he once was, but busy times,
I did call that too. I know once you're a CEO and things start ramping up, it's hard to find that free time.
I actually got to meet Morgan too. That was actually pretty exciting. So I got to meet her in Los Angeles at the convention there. I'm telling you, there was a lot of good people there, and I am so glad that I got to meet you. And I'm excited that we're now partnering with BBTF.
Yeah, that was funny because I recognized you before you even got a chance for me to tell you who I was.
I'm just so glad you didn't think I was Darcy's bodyguard. I got asked that so many times.
No, I'm I'm definitely excited for this partnership. Glow has so many aspects that don't even tie into DeFi that can really make a difference.
Yeah, there's so many good things coming that you just have to be excited for the future of Glow. But just what it's just this week, end of this week is going to be exciting, and then down the road, the things coming are going to be pretty special.
I'm stoked for the hat. I want to see that merch.
Don't worry,
Well, they have it.
all your hosts will get merch, and Matt is the man to go after for merch as well. Sure, his whole
Thank
business
you.
is producing it.
Thank you, Shane. Hey, Shane. By the way, you teased us with that. That you said that there's news. You teased us a little bit. You gave us a hint. Can you give any more hints?
Nope. We can give some more hints next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to keep it quite close to our chest. We're nearly there with it. We just need to look at one or two items from a development point of view with integration. But we're more or less there with it. The deal is signed off on effectively. There's been a lot of, I would say, there's actually probably been 3 or 4 months of going back and forward with 2 or 3 different companies that will offer this service, and we've decided on the best deal and best fit for us at this time, of what it's going to be. And we'll leave it at that. And Brian, you're not allowed to talk about it because Brian.
Okay, Sue. Okay, Sue.
Details of things.
Good answer, Sue.
Yep, my lips are sealed.
Okay. All righty.
I don't think so. Brian's like Tom Holland.
So I don't know if you want to. I know we're up here about an hour and a bit. We wanted to just keep this sort of as a short space for the guys to introduce themselves to the community. It's not an easy task to get up here on a Twitter space, especially with the way Twitter is. There's a lot of nastiness in keyboard warriors sitting behind screens. I like to think we don't really have that community here. I won't tolerate it. And I think the lads have done a great job for their first space. We had a few technical issues at the start. I couldn't even get into the space myself. I'd like to open up the forum to if there's any questions down there from any of the audience, to the lads, to me, to Brian. I know Morgan's up here, Griff Creator's up here. Morgan won't speak on anything technical with BBTF, so don't even ask her. Yeah, if anyone wants to pop up, ask a question, make a statement, anything, sing a song, give a poem, anything at all.
Yes, you guys can ask me about the paranormal.
I'm absolutely terrified of the paranormal. So we'll have a good chat one day, I think.
For sure.
In case anybody's curious, I'm a Bigfoot expert, so if you get any Sasquatch questions, I'm good for that.
I'm actually going to pop down, guys, but I just wanted to say great space, Tulai, Safe Moon Rob, Blinky. You guys are doing fantastic. Keep up the good work. Not as easy as it looks, guys, in the crowd. It can get tedious and really crazy sometimes. But appreciate you guys being the space hosts for Glow. And also, if you're in the space or you're listening to the recording and you haven't voted for the September charity, please do that. It doesn't take much time or effort. And everyone have a good night.
Thanks for coming up, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan. Jinx.
Hey, nice to meet you, Morgan. Thank you for that.
Oh, I have another small piece of news. We don't want to talk too much on it, but what I'll say is there's a visit, well, they say, there's a company visit, Brian, isn't it? Coming up soon.
Yeah,
in my industry, we call them site inspections, just so you know.
Site inspection, I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on this month that we're planning on doing. It'll be almost the whole team meeting up, and yeah, we'll be able to give you more details coming up soon, very soon.
I see Brian's popped up there. Brian, I have a question for you. What mic do you use? Because I really like your sound quality. That's a weird thing.
Dude, I didn't even mean to come here. I actually had left and I was trying to get back in, and it put me a speaker. I'm sitting here trying to test out an application that'll let me play music in spaces while I'm using my mic setup.
Nice.
Okay, we need that. We need that.
Yeah.
When you figure that out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because I got some spaces I'm going to host soon, so I'm trying to get some like kind of quality entertainment for people. But what I'm trying to do is use a voice meter banana. You know how you can like set that up and choose like which inputs you have that go through your speakers, and then you can choose through Bluetooth, my Bluetooth emulator, to go through that speaker, right? So it'll just play music that I would be listening to here, and I can use my mic as well. So I'm just trying to figure out how to set it all up.
Nice. Yeah. We need to
we'll
talk
see.
to Lee because he
No,
was on
I just
point.
talked to him. That's what I just talked to him, and he goes, "Yeah, good luck with that." And I was like, "Oh, you just use a mic and a nice setup, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah," because I think he tried the software, and he's probably tried to use what I'm using right now. So again, my mileage may vary by the time I get done with this.
Yeah, I want to give him a shout out because he did absolutely amazing last
Yeah,
night
that's because
with the music quality.
yeah, he's using an actual setup. So he's got a mic that listens to the quality sound without sound in his room. Me, I've got like kids everywhere, and like so I have to make it to where the music plays and my emulator listens to the music and to the mic, so there's no interference or outside. That's that's optimal, but the software programs that are available are pretty sparse.
Nice. I see we have one of our moderators, Tyler, is up there. How are you doing, Tyler?
Doing pretty well, guys. I'm Tyler, GlowMod. Pa, I want to call out to you and say thanks for keeping the community safe and making sure that nobody was getting rugged or taken advantage of. I remember that, and I don't want you to think I have any hard feelings. But Glow is definitely a community-driven project. I want you all to realize that. And if you have any charities that are near and dear to your heart, drop in our Discord and put in the charity suggestions. There's a tab for people to put in those suggestions, and the team goes through, make sure that it's what Glow wants to represent, and we vote on them. So not only do we get to vote on the charities, but you also get to suggest charities. So if you have anything that's near and dear to your heart, go ahead and throw it in there.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine getting involved with a token for because you want to make a little money, and then getting into this project where you could end up really just maybe helping a loved one you become part of this community, and there's like a mechanism in place for improving and helping the community.
Yeah, for sure. And myself and Brian have both had charities helped very close to our hearts. With family members and friends going through some really rough times, so it's really great to be able to be working in a team and a project that's able to do a little bit of good. It's not as much as what we'd like to be doing, but with the Glow Foundation and stuff, it's really we're going to be able to change that. And don't get us wrong, we're a charity token at heart, but we are here to make money for the investors too, and that's what Project Trinity and some other brick and mortar things outside of the project will be feeding into the ecosystem to help build on that as well. Anyone who's listened to me will know I'm the money guy. I know how to feed things back in and have sort of everything we do is designed to feed back into Glow and to benefit the investors first and foremost, and to strengthen the financial standing of the company as well. So does anyone else down there have any questions at all?
that even goes for any of us hosts up here as well. If anybody has any questions about anything, for that matter.
I mean, Shane, you really have created a roadmap for, you know, a new charitable organization in general, and what you're doing is so ideal that people may want to, you know, emulate what you're doing.
You know, and that's the one thing that we actually pride ourselves on. We technically don't call it a roadmap when we're talking to each other and talking to the community. We call it a living document, you know, because it's always upgrading. We always have ambitions to grow, and you know, with that, it's constant change and constant growth. So that is definitely something that we're always, you know, looking to enhance in every way possible.
Yeah, for sure. And we've spoken about this a lot in spaces. If you're a project that's sort of stuck with a roadmap and you can't pivot outside of it, the market changes in normal brick and mortar businesses quite fast, but in crypto it changes even faster, and you need to be able to adapt, pivot, and move. So we'll actually probably be making a couple of updates to the roadmap, and we'll be moving some things forward and pushing some things out. As I was talking about, more news on this will come next week. We're able to move something up a little bit that I don't even think is probably on the roadmap. I'm not even sure if it is. It might be, but it's to help. We're all about trying to bring in at the moment as many holders, as many eyes into Glow as possible, and to bring it into the right way so that all the holders benefit as well. There's no point. We can do a lot of things to get a lot of holders in and to create a lot of volume, but it's not going to benefit the investors, and that's what we really, really want to do. There's no point in having $1 million worth of volume in an exchange that can't reflect back to our investors. So everything we're doing is to help benefit you guys. First and foremost, as Brian always said, we're all about giving back. My ethos is that as well. I want to see you guys all winning down there. When you get excited, we get excited. It's great to see. Like, we had a really good volume day. I think it was probably a week ago or so, and it was great to see. We got trending on Twitter, and the whole community was behind us. Obviously, with the BTF partnership as well, it's going to help that as well, because the charts will start to look good. So you can sort of see where all this is going. It's all about driving up that community engagement and getting people excited about Glow. And then as Glow takes off and the project takes off, we'll have more funds to feed back into the charity aspect, and we'll be able to do more good in the world. We have big goals as a team with what we want to do for charity, so we're looking forward to it. But yeah, that's everything. We're coming up to an hour 20 there on the space, so if no one has any questions, I think we'll wrap it up. The hosts, do you have any closing thoughts?
I would just like to say to people that you know, nothing is more important than empathy for another human being suffering. You know, no career, not wealth, not intelligence, certainly not status. You know, we have to feel for one another if we're going to survive with dignity. And that is a quote from Audrey Hepburn, who, I'm being a little older, she was one of my favorite actresses, or stars, however you want to say it, without being politically correct. And she was right. I mean, you have to live with empathy for all of us. We're all in this thing together. Life is fun, but you not for everybody, and you gotta always try and see other people's point of view, and just be kind. You know, that's what my closing thoughts, and that's kind of my life philosophy is: positive out brings positive in. Try and just, you know, smiles are contagious. Smile at people. They're healthy. They help you in so many ways. That's my finishing thoughts.
I just want to say thank you, Brian and Shane, and my co-hosts George and Rob. Thanks everybody for giving me this platform to talk about my favorite token.
I just want to thank Brian and Shane personally. Thanks so much, guys, for letting us be a part of the team. This is just going to be an amazing journey. And within the crypto space, we all need to learn and pivot and move with the times or we get left behind. So my words of wisdom is time flies, but the good thing is you're the pilot.
Right.
That is 100% true. So it was a great space. I'm glad that we got to break ice with George, Rob, and Matt. And I am very glad to have them on the team. I appreciate y'all coming on board. I'm extremely excited to see where it goes. I'm extremely excited to see where Glow goes. I mean, we're incorporating a out of DeFi business with DeFi. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the future lies. I mean, it's going to be absolutely incredible once we get it all pieced together. It's going to benefit the investors. It's going to benefit so many different lives. It's going to be truly remarkable once we get to the, well, I can't even say end goal because there's never really an end goal until we get to the next step. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, till the next step. There's no end goal. Keep going.
And
If
I
you're
would like
not
to thank
growing, you're
everybody for
stagnant.
coming. Exactly. You know, right now is the perfect time to be growing. You know, it's still the bear market. This is when we're putting in all of our time to develop and grow internally for the investors for when the next, bull market comes. So this is the growing time. This is the time that we need to be developing and pushing forward. So, like I said, I'm super excited to see where everything goes. I'm glad, super thrilled for the new additions to the team and the new partnerships. You know, thank you, Chris, for coming up here and talking. Thank you, BBTF, for the opportunity to be a partner with you as well. And, there's a lot more future partners coming out of there. We work close with MetaBUSD. I know that we don't talk about it a lot, but, they are, Chris, MetaCaptain, super, super good guy. So if anybody hasn't met him or talked to him or listened to his spaces, he's extremely knowledgeable. So give him a follow, look him up. He's a super good guy. And, that's kind of my closing thoughts. Shane, do you have anything?
Yeah. So my closing thoughts are congratulations to the three guys on getting selected to be the hosts of GlowNation. A lot of work went on in the background to get the right people in. We sort of delayed it until we were sure we got the right fit. There was an excess of 20-something people interviewed for the role, so I feel like we've got the best of the best. There's a reasoning behind the three guys and why they're here that they probably don't know yet. But as always with me, there's always something bigger at play. So yeah, that's my closing thoughts. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can all do together and what direction GlowNation can take. I think it's going to become quite a big show in this space. Today was all about introducing the new hosts, and the schedule will slowly develop as it goes on. And if any of you are project owners or involved in projects out there and want to get involved and get a spot in GlowNation, for the moment you can hit me up in a DM, and I'll loop the three guys in on a chat so they can see what it looks like for booking shows and stuff like that, and we can go from there.
Jedi, I think he's talking to you too. I see you down there.
Cool. If there's nothing else, we will wrap it up here. I think Kimmy is on the main account, so if you want to rug the space, I know we've been rugged once today, but if you want to go ahead and do it, the guy's got a good christening of fire of what tech issues can be in Twitter. I couldn't even get into the space to begin with, so I wasn't asleep this time. I was actually trying to get in. Obviously, it's quite late where my time is, and I've fallen asleep on a call or two before with Brian and Jared. Look, it's just the nature of the beast. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we're looking forward to seeing you. We'll probably look to run a space towards the end of the week, and we'll have some big news about Glow and making us accessible to the masses. Love you, Shane. Oh, it's Jared in the main account. Love you too, Jared. Night night.
Let's glow.
Let's blow.